There's a story coming out of Northern California about how a public school has banned the I Can't Breathe Eric Garner protest t-shirts. They say, quote, the athletic director at Fort Bragg High School informed his counterpart at Mendocino High School this week that neither the boys nor girls team would be allowed to participate in the 3-day tournament if they wear the shirts. They say the boys were reinstated after all but one player agreed not to wear the shirts, but too few girl players accepted the condition for the team to field a tournament squad. So here we have schools banning the I Can't Breathe t-shirts for a tournament where they all get together. Now, listen to what the school administrators said, because it's amazing how little they know about the law and the Constitution. They said, quote, to protect the safety and well-being of all tournament participants, it is necessary to ensure that all political statements and/or protests are kept away from this tournament. Now that's nice, but do yourself a favor and read a little bit of history. So what these clowns don't know, and it's sad because they are government representatives. They represent the government. They represent the taxpayers. They should know this before they talk about it. But if they did a little research, they would find out that in 1969, there was a Supreme Court case called Tinker v. Des Moines, which found that a high school could not stop students from protesting against Vietnam and standing in solidarity with armbands that showed their disgust with the war. And I'm not sure if it was in this case or another case, a similar case, where a Supreme Court justice famously said, your rights don't stop at the schoolhouse door. So you still do have freedom of speech, you still do have freedom of expression, and it's not like when you walk in there, all of a sudden there's a fascist dictatorship and the school gets to dictate every single aspect of your life. That's not how it works in America. But apparently the dunces at these schools had no idea that they're not allowed to do what they're doing. I mean, that decision was as clear could be. You cannot ban anything simply because it's political speech. Even if there was some sort of threat that was going to happen, it doesn't matter. But they banned it anyway. And is there a threat here? Please. They provided no evidence whatsoever that there's any threat if the girls' basketball team or the boys' basketball team wore the I Can't Breathe t-shirts. No, what they're trying to do is make people fall in line. They don't want anything to do with controversy, so if anybody takes a stand on any issue ever, we don't want any controversy, we don't want any parents getting upset in any way, shape, or form, so no shirts at all. Well, no, the real controversy was created when you stepped in and you said they can't do what they want to do as free citizens in a supposedly free society. And for the record, let me be clear about this. It's not like I'm only supporting this because it happens to be a protest that I agree with. I'm supporting it because, as a matter of principle, you have to support it if you believe in the First Amendment. So let's flip it. Let's say people were wearing shirts that supported the NRA. Or people were wearing shirts that supported some sort of hardline conservative ideology. Well, guess what? It's none of the school's goddamn business to get involved and tell somebody what they can or cannot wear because they don't agree with the message. So whether it's a conservative protest or a liberal protest, fuck off to the school administrators. It's none of your business. You have to let the students make their own decisions. That's what this country is about. And the thing that gets me more mad than anything else in this story is that apparently nobody at the high school, which was responsible for making this decision, none of them looked through history. None of them looked for what the law is. None of them looked at what the Constitution says. None of them gave a shit. They just thought, whatever, we're going to say whatever we want to say, and whatever we say stands because we're the school and we can tell the students whatever the fuck we want to tell them. That's incorrect. That's not true. You represent the government, and you're bound by laws. You're bound by the Constitution. You're bound by stare decisis in the court's history and according to the Supreme Court. So they don't know how the law functions, but they're agents of the government, and they're supposedly there to represent the law and to uphold the law. Again, man, I hate to do it, but if you're in a position where you have these kinds of responsibilities and you don't know the most basic thing about your responsibilities, why the fuck should you have a job? Why shouldn't you be fired? It seems clear to me that you don't know the very basic tenets of your job, so you should be fired. Really, reverse this decision immediately, or it would be wrong if somebody doesn't fire you because you don't know what you're doing, you don't know the Constitution, you don't know the law, and you're doing whatever you want for your own selfish reasons and reasons of power.